Hey everybody, this month is Celiac Disease Awareness Month, and us 5 gluten-free bloggers, including myself, are sharing our gluten-free stories to educate why we went gluten-free.
Hello everybody, I am Cindy Gordon. I am the blogger behind vegetarianmama.com.
I'm Crystal Carver, the blogger and recipe developer behind Gluten-Free Palette.
Esther Trevino from the gluten-free-nerd.com, and
I am here just to say hello and to welcome you to Celiac Disease Awareness Month, and also just to welcome you to our community. So if you haven't gotten that official welcome yet, welcome! Welcome to the gluten-free community. We're here with open arms.
May is Celiac Awareness Month, and really the month is about spreading awareness and supporting each other.
help create awareness and share our celiac stories in celebration of Celiac Disease Awareness Month.
No matter if you have celiac disease, whether you have been told to lead a gluten-free lifestyle because of another medical condition, you're gluten intolerant, it doesn't matter. We are all here together, and we are all here to help each other. So thank you so much for being here and being a part of our community. For me, looking back, everything kind of adds up now, but at the time it didn't. When things started changing for me was when I was pregnant with my second son at the end of 2009. And he was born in 2010, and from there on he had lots of medical problems, including life-threatening food allergies, but we just couldn't figure things out. And so our medical team at that point really wasn't very helpful, so we decided to do things on our own. So we started eliminating things, and the first thing we eliminated was gluten. And we saw a remarkable difference. His Ethiopian type of belly went down, the rashes went away, the digestive system really cleared up, all of those things. So then as we went through the process, we then realized that you can't be tested for celiac disease if you've been gluten-free for a certain time. So we kind of did things a little bit backwards, and that's a problem that we see a lot today. So if you're struggling and you think that gluten might be your problem, certainly get tested for celiac disease before you go gluten-free. That is something that we didn't, and at this point we've been gene tested and are gene carriers, but we don't want to go through that risk of eating gluten again for a certain amount of time, re-damaging our guts only to be biopsied to get a 100% diagnosis. So for us, all of our symptoms are gone. We know that the genes are there, but for us, we just have to deal with what we have, the cards that we were dealt, and the choices we made because we didn't have the right information.
I've been gluten-free for almost 8 years now. It started back in 2009 when my girls were really sick. They had been sick for almost 4 weeks at the time, and they wouldn't eat, they were losing weight, and it wasn't until a nurse had suggested that we have them tested for food allergies that we really started to get to the bottom of what was going on. The test came back within a week, and we found out that they were gluten intolerant and dairy intolerant, and one of my girls is also peanut intolerant. Since then, I've also been tested, and I'm gluten intolerant and dairy intolerant, and removing those things from our diets was a huge change, but it made a world of difference. Now we're healthy and we're thriving. We make most of our food at home, and we eat out on special occasions. I love being in the kitchen. I love developing recipes and showing people how easy it can be to cook and bake gluten-free. I hope that you are thriving and living, and that you find the support and resources that you need.
I have been gluten-free now for 5 years. I was diagnosed 5 years ago by my hematologist and my gastroenterologist. I was diagnosed by getting a genetic blood test done, and then I also had a biopsy done. They did an endoscopy and a colonoscopy. I was so nervous when they were going to do the colonoscopy. My mom is amazing. She came up to LA to be with me, and she actually had a colonoscopy done the same day with my doctor with me. And it was such a crazy, fun bonding experience in such a bizarre way, because she came up to my apartment to stay with me, and I remember drinking the liquid the night before, and initially we were both fine. And then by the end of the night, we were both fighting for the bathroom. And I just remember going through that experience and having my mom there and the support of my friends and family meant everything. And now knowing all I have to do is avoid gluten and I'm not on medication for the rest of my life is incredible, and I feel healthier than I ever have been. I definitely know now even more so to be so aware and meticulous of what I'm eating and what I'm consuming and what goes on my skin. I live a gluten-free lifestyle, so everything from my makeup, my toothpaste, my chapstick, my deodorant, anything that touches my skin is also free of gluten. Dietary restrictions are just part of who I am. It doesn't define me. It's just something that I deal with, and it doesn't prevent me from doing anything that I want.
I was actually diagnosed in the 90s, way back in the dark ages, I know. But I was sick for 10 years, and I had bounced around from hospital to hospital, and no one could figure out what was wrong with me. And I was actually living in rural West Virginia, and this doctor said, "Have you ever been tested for celiac?" And I said, "I'm sure they tested me for everything," and they, for some reason, hadn't tested me for that.
Oh, wow.
And did an endoscopy and figured out I had celiac, which was great and brilliant and wonderful to know what was wrong with me.
Yeah, of course.
But then all he did was say, "Don't eat gluten, see you later." And I'm like, "What's gluten?"
Where do you even start? Where do you go?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and he didn't know. He was like, "I just know you shouldn't eat it, whatever that is." Yeah.
So what were your symptoms that were sort of leading up to it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had all kinds of GI symptoms, but I also had iron deficiency anemia, I had migraine headaches, I had like girl problems, like just a kind of running gamut of things. And I just was very run down. I kind of went from one sinus infection to the next and just never felt good.
Yeah, well, that's usually what happens to a lot of people is they don't know how bad they feel until they actually get the diagnosis and go gluten-free. And that was kind of the same situation for myself. When I was 13 years old, I got diagnosed with celiac, but leading up to it, 13 years old, you're supposed to be growing, puberty, you're supposed to grow, and instead I actually lost 25 pounds of weight. I got extremely skinny, and I'm still the height that I am now, so I was very skinny. Deficient in all my vitamins, fatigue, and obviously that's a problem at that age.
Glaring symptoms.
But yeah, exactly. So it took going to my doctor and saying, they misdiagnosed me with IBS.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
they
what
kind of do.
When they're like, "Oh yeah, we recognize you have symptoms, we don't know what it is, you've got
Exactly.
IBS."
And then as a kid, they thought I had attention deficit disorder, so I was like, no, that's not what I have. And
I just can't pay attention because I'm miserable.
Exactly. So what I ended up doing is doing research myself, and I found out my mom had celiac just a year before I did, and we kind of connected our symptoms, and it turns out I got the celiac diagnosis through a blood test, and now I have celiac.
So certainly, if you have questions, I urge you to reach out. There are so many wonderful organizations, so many wonderful brands, so many wonderful bloggers, especially Celiac and the Beast, Gluten-Free Palate, The Gluten-Free Nerd, Gluten Away. I know that everyone is working together, and there are so many more. So definitely connect, share your story. We love to hear your stories, and just know that you are welcome.
Thank you for watching this video on our gluten-free stories. Hopefully this showed you that each story is different and sharing your story can help too. Spread awareness this month and every month for celiac disease awareness, and also make sure to check out Enjoy Life Foods. They're a great sponsor this month, and they make celiac disease really a whole lot easier to live with. So thank you, Enjoy Life Foods, and thank you for watching.